Hello, welcome to Exam Paddy's biology class. Our topic today is homeostasis part 1, and we will be learning about homeostasis and osmoregulation. At the end of this lesson, you should be able to 1. Explain homeostasis and osmoregulation. 2. Describe the functions of the kidneys and how they carry out homeostasis. Homeostasis is the state of steady internal physical and chemical conditions maintained by living systems. It is a self-regulating process by which biological systems tend to maintain stability while adjusting to optimal conditions. Homeostasis is quite crucial to the survival of organisms. If homeostasis is successful, life continues. If unsuccessful, disaster or death ensues. What's the temperature in your room right now? I guess it's not exactly 37 degrees Celsius. Yet, your body temperature is usually very close to this value. The control of body temperature in humans is a good example of homeostasis in biological systems. In humans, normal body temperature fluctuates around the value of 37 degrees Celsius, but various factors can affect this value, including exposure, hormones, metabolic rates, and diseases, leading to excessively high or low temperatures. The body's temperature regulation is controlled by a region in the brain called the hypothalamus. A homeostatic process that controls the amount of water in body fluids is known as osmoregulation. Osmoregulation is a process that regulates the osmotic pressure of fluids and electrolytic balance in organisms. In animals, this process is brought about by osmoreceptors, which can detect change in osmotic pressures. Humans and most other warm-blooded organisms have osmoreceptors in their hypothalamus. Besides the brain, osmoregulation is also found in the kidneys. Osmoregulation is essential to all organisms as it maintains the organism's water content. There are two major kinds of osmoregulation. The first one is called osmoconformers. These are organisms that try to match the osmolarity of their body with their surroundings. In other words, these organisms maintain the same osmotic pressure inside the body as outside water. They conform either through active or passive means. Most marine invertebrates such as starfish, jellyfish, and lobsters are osmoconformers. The second one is osmoregulators. Osmoregulators are organisms that actively regulate their osmotic pressure independent of the surrounding environment. Many vertebrates, including humans, are osmoregulatory. Most freshwater fish are considered to be osmoregulatory too. Different organisms exhibit different types of osmoregulation. Freshwater fish and marine water fish osmoregulate in different ways because their environments have varying levels of salinity. Let's talk about osmoregulation in freshwater fish. Freshwater fishes are hypertonic to their surrounding environment, which means that the concentration of salt is higher in their blood than in their surrounding water. They absorb a controlled amount of water through the mouth and the gill membranes. Due to this intake of water, they produce large quantities of urine, through which a lot of salt is lost. The salt is replaced with the help of mitochondrial-rich cell in the gills. These cells absorb salt into the blood from the surrounding water. Osmoregulation in marine fish. Compared to freshwater fish, marine fish face the opposite problem. They have a higher concentration of water in their body than in their surrounding environment. Consequently, it results in the tendency to lose water and absorb the salt. To get around this problem, marine fish drink large quantities of water and restrict urination. Osmoregulation in plants. Plants use stomata on the lower side of their leaves to regulate water loss. Plants growing in hydrated soil compensate for water loss through transpiration by absorbing more water from the soil. The plants that grow in semi-arid areas store water in the vacuoles and have thick and fleshy cuticles to prevent water loss. Osmoregulation in unicellular organisms, such as Paramecium. Osmoregulation is done by organelles called contractile vacuoles. These contractile vacuoles are spherical-shaped structures surrounded by a series of radiating ducts. These ducts collect water and pump it into the central area by means of contractile fibers that contract and forces the water into the center. When the vacuoles are full, the unicellular organism contracts, forcing the water outside the cell. Here is a diagram showing the process of osmoregulation in unicellular organisms, focusing on amoeba and Paramecium as a case study. Osmoregulation in humans. The kidney is the main organ responsible for osmoregulation in humans. Water, amino acids, and glucose are reabsorbed by the kidneys. When the water level in the body is high, it releases a large amount of hypotonic urine. When the water is low, it retains water and produces a low amount of hypertonic urine. Thus, the kidney maintains the electrolytic balance of the body. The kidneys are two bean-shaped organs, each about the size of a fist. They are located just below the rib cage, one on each side of your spine. Healthy kidney filters about a half cup of blood every minute, removing waste and extra water to make urine. Here's a diagram of the kidney. Why are the kidneys so important? 1. The major function of the kidney is to remove waste products and excess fluid as urine from the body. 2. The kidney regulates the body's salts, potassium and acid. 3. They produce hormones that affect the functions of other organs. For example, a hormone produced by the kidneys stimulates red blood cell production. 4. The kidney also produces an active form of vitamin D that promotes strong, healthy bones and also controls production of red blood cells. An easy way to memorize the 7 different roles that the kidneys play in human health is using a simple and funny pneumatic formula called a wet bed. A means controlling acid-base balance. W, controlling water balance. E, maintaining electrolyte balance. T, removing toxins and waste products from the body. B, controlling blood pressure. E, producing the hormone erythropoietin. D, activating vitamin D. We've come to the end of today's lesson. Answer the following questions to test your knowledge of the topic. 1. Explain homeostasis and osmoregulation. 2. Describe the functions of the kidney and how they carry out homeostasis. Thank you for learning about homeostasis and osmoregulation with me. I'll see you in our next video. Bye.